In this video, I will explain how to convert point slope form to standard form. So if you have a line in point slope form, here's what it looks like. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1, where m is the slope and x1 comma y1 is a point on the line. But standard form looks like this. Ax plus by is equal to c, where a, b, and c are all integers and a is positive. So let's take a look at a couple examples. This first example says convert the following equation from point slope form to standard form. Y plus 4 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 3. So let's go ahead and rewrite it right here. The first step that we need to take to convert this to standard form is distribute this negative 2 into the parentheses right here. So here's what that looks like. We get y plus 4 is equal to negative 2 times x, that's just negative 2x, and then negative 2 times negative 3, that's a positive 6. Now the next step is, notice in standard form we have the x and the y on the same side of the equation. So let's go ahead and add a 2x to both sides so that we can get the x on this side of the equation. So we'll be left with 2x plus y plus 4 is equal to, over here these x's cancel out and we're just left with a 6. Now the last step is we want to move this negative 4 over to this side. So we'll subtract a 4 from both sides and we'll be left with 2x plus y is equal to, these 4's cancel out. On the right hand side we have 6 minus 4, which is 2. So now we have it in the format of ax plus by is equal to 2, where a, b, and c are all integers and a is positive. So this 2 right here is a positive number. So this is going to be our final answer. Alright, let's try one more example. This one says, convert the following equation from point slope form to standard form. Y minus 5 is equal to 3/4 times x plus 8. So let's go ahead and rewrite it right here. So the first step to convert this to standard form is we want to distribute this 3/4 into the parentheses. So here's what that looks like. We have y minus 5 is equal to 3/4 times x is just 3/4 x. And then we have 3/4 times 8. So another way to think about that is 3/4 times 8 over 1. So if we just multiply the values straight across in the numerator, we get 3 times 8 is 24. In the denominator, we have 4 times 1 is 4. 24 divided by 4, that's 6. So 3/4 times 8 is just 6. So we'll say plus 6. All right, the next step is, once again, when we're writing equations in standard form, we want the x's and the y's to be on the same side of the equation. So we can go ahead and subtract a 3/4 x from both sides. So we'll be left with negative 3/4 x plus y minus 5 is equal to, these 3/4 x's cancel out and we just have a 6 on this side. Now the next step is we can add a 5 to both sides. So we'll be left with, I'll write it up here, negative 3/4 x plus y is equal to, these 5's cancel out and we're left with 6 plus 5 on the right hand side, which is 11. Now this is close to being in standard form, but notice the requirements. A, b, and c need to be integers or whole numbers. So we can see that a right now is not an integer, and also a is not currently positive, it's a negative value. So what we can do to convert all of these values to integers is just multiply them all by the denominator right here of 4. Because when we multiply this fraction by 4, here's what that looks like. Negative 3/4 times 4 over 1. If we multiply straight across, we get negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. 4 times 1 is 4. So negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. So if we just multiply each term by 4, here's what we get. This term becomes a negative 3. So we have negative 3x plus, this would be 4 times y, which is 4y, is equal to, here we have 11 times 4, which is 44. So now a, b, and c are all integers, but the last step is we want to make sure that a is positive. So the way that we can do that is just multiply this entire equation by a negative 1. So when we do that, this becomes a positive 3x. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4y. And on the right hand side, we have negative 1 times 44, which is negative 44. So this will be our final answer. That's how we can write the original line that was in point slope form in standard form.